Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, prepare yourselves as we delve deep into Tejano music, its history, its future. You will hear the oldies but goodies, the newies but gooies, and everything in between. My name is Rick Garcia, and I will be your host on this 60-minute musical journey. So let's hear all the great songs by the great artists who made them famous, and a little bit of history behind each song. After all, I was there. Well, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this new edition of the Rick Garcia Hour right here on Mas Chingon Radio, MCR. I want to thank the good people for airing this radio broadcast, and I especially want to thank the good people who have written in and telling me that they've enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. So let's get our seatbelts ready as we prepare for another journey, as we travel up and down the streets of Tejano and Conjunto music, and maybe another intersection or two. That's what it's all about. Music is the universal language, and that's what I'm about right here at the Rick Garcia Hour. I have had an opportunity to work with so many talented individuals from all musical genres over the years, and I can't help but brag about them. So believe me, as I tell my stories, it's not to toot my own horn, not at all. It's really to brag about the wonderful people that I've worked with. So let's start the show with a young lady from my hometown of Corpus Christi, Texas. I've had the pleasure of working with her for probably over 40 years now. I consider her my good friend, and sometimes I refer to her as my girlfriend, but only when my wife is not listening. But one thing for sure, she is the queen of Conjunto. As a matter of fact, she won Female Vocalist of the Year recently at the 20th anniversary edition of the South Texas Conjunto Association Awards held in the Rio Grande Valley. She is a household name, and this song is from her latest album, Vi Una Nube. This is Linda Escobar with her rendition of Échale Cinco al Piano.
Del salón, bailemos esta polca, la rumba y el danzón. No más se me rejunta y verá que vacilón. Ay, mamá, me aprieta este señor. Ay, mamá, que repegada estoy. Siento ya morirme de emoción. Échale al piano y que siga el vacilón. Ay, y échale. Acérquese un poquito, no se haga para atrás, ni se haga tan ranchera y aprenda a vacilar. Afloje la cintura con más velocidad, no se haga tan ranchera y aprenda a vacilar. Ay, mamá, me aprieta este señor. Ay, mamá, que repegada estoy. Siento ya morirme de emoción. Échale cinco al piano y que siga el vacilón. Vamos a ver, Prieta. Ay, mamá, me aprieta este señor. Ay, mamá, que repegada estoy. Siento ya morirme de emoción. Échale cinco al piano y que siga el vacilón.
the very latest from Linda Escobar, Échale Cinco al Piano, from her CD, Vi Una Nube. You can download a copy of that album from iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, you name it, it's there. It's on her own Escobar record label and distributed digitally by Latina Soul Distribution. Up next, let's go back to the archives a long, long time ago. I'm talking like 1979. To me, it's just like it was yesterday. I blinked my eyes and here we are. We're in the 21st century. This next group is from Kingsville, Texas. When we opened the doors of Hacienda Records in 79, they were one of the early groups to come on board. Back in the day when orchestras were prominent, this group literally had about 8, 10, 12 members in the band. They were called Show Band USA. That would be very hard to do in this economy. So a throwback to yesteryear. Show Band USA. This was their first hit, a string of many. Song is called Cerrando Puertas.
Te interesa, solo piensas en riquezas, ya me voy. Si no quieres mi cariño, pues persigue tu destino, ya me voy. Pero voy cerrando puertas para no volver. Pero voy cerrando puertas para no volver jamás. Que te olvides de cualquiera que tú mires, sea por más. No me enredes en tus planes, ya te dejo que tú ganes, dejo en paz. Pero voy cerrando puertas para no volver. Pero voy cerrando puertas para no volver jamás. Piensa bien lo que te digo, por ser el primer testigo, y diré que tu amigo es el dinero, tienes corazón de hielo, yo lo sé. Pero voy cerrando puertas para no volver. Pero voy cerrando puertas para no volver jamás.
The orchestra sounds of Show Band USA. From Kingsville, Texas, going all the way back to 1979. The lead singer of that song is named Paul Garza. And after Show Band USA, he went on to sing with a group called The Force. And then sometime after The Force, he joined a group called Cielo Band. And we're going to do something a little bit different, because right now we're going to feature the same vocalist, Paul Garza, except he's singing now as lead singer for Cielo Band. This song is called Tómame. Same singer, different group, and it's another great song right here on the Rick Garcia Hour on MCR Radio. How about that Cielo Band with the lead singer Paul Garza? The song was called Tómame. So we just heard a double take of lead vocalist Mr. Paul Garza, first with Show Band USA, then with Cielo Band. And last I heard, Paul Garza was some kind of a professor at a high school somewhere in South Texas. Not sure if he's still singing, but no doubt he had and still has enormous talent. Speaking of singers that have sang in different bands, one of the fan favorites still packing them in today is Pío Treviño. What a talent that guy is. When God gave out musical talent, Pío Treviño was right there in the front of the line. I've had several opportunities to work with him, going all the way back to a group called Sangre Chicana, back in the old De La Rosa days. Then later, he had the opportunity to sing lead for La Movida Band, and they did a string of hits. We'll hear more about them later, but after Movida Band, Pío Treviño started up his own group, a name which he still uses today, Pío Treviño y Magic. When Pío decided to start his own group, he and I were kicking around names, what were we going to call the band? And I remember I was walking in a department store and I saw a perfume called Magia. I thought that sounds pretty good. So I called Pío a couple of days later and I said, what do you think about Pío Treviño y Magia? And he said, well, I like it. It's got a good ring to it, but it sounds too much like La Mafia. So why don't we just call it by its English name, Magic? The name stuck. Pío Treviño y Magic. This was their first hit on Hacienda Records. It's called El Magazine, written by award-winning songwriter, the late, great Luis Silva. Let's check out El Magazine.
Compré un magazine que yo nunca compraba. No pude yo creer lo que en él yo encontraba. Qué sorpresa llevé, ese libro que yo hojeaba. La mujer que yo amé, la mujer que yo amé, estaba retratada.
magazine no quise ya mirarla, no pude resistir el llanto que me ahogaba desde que la perdí. Jamás yo supe de ella, la mujer que yo amé, la mujer que yo amé.
Treviño y Magic, the song that got it all started for him, El Magazine. I hear that's a true story. The songwriter wrote about a heartbroken fella who'd been dumped by his girlfriend, happened to stumble through a men's magazine, flipping through it, and there he sees his girlfriend in El Magazine, and she was naked as a jaybird. Up next, we're going to bring you all the way up to the current date, 2018, with my new venture, CHR Records, and one of our artists, the very talented Los Marceles, from their album, Puro Texas Conjunto, Viejo el Viento.
De novia, dices que mi amor es viejo, viejo el viento y todavía sopla. ¿Cómo vas a comparar lo original con la copia? Dices que mi amor es viejo, viejo el viento y todavía sopla. Eres inocente, ya sabes más que la historia. Dices que mi amor es viejo, viejo el viento y todavía sopla. Soy como llave maestra y a cualquier chapa se acopla. Dices que mi amor es viejo, viejo el viento y todavía sopla.
Los Marceles, from their CHR recording, Puro Texas Conjunto. And speaking of my new venture, CHR Records, I just want to thank all the wonderful, talented artists who have come on board. I am having a blast again. I am still that kid in a candy store getting a chance to work with all the tremendous artists. Another gentleman on the CHR label happens to be Mr. Rodney Rodriguez and his group Los Cucuys. And as I said before, this guy is a workaholic. He is taking his brand of music all over America, it seems like. So whenever Los Cucuys come to your town, be sure to check them out live. In the meantime, you can hear them right here on MCR Radio. MCR and CHR, a winning combination. Also, don't forget Los Cucuys. They're available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, wherever digital music is sold. And of course, if you're old-fashioned like I am and like a physical disc, well, then that's available as well. Los Cucuys. This song is from their album Me Sigo de Frente. It's a great cumbia. It's called Amor por Correo. Remember the old days when you would write love letters and put them in the mail? Maybe somebody's going to write a song called Amor por Email. Heck, I don't know. But in any case, right now we're going to stick to the old-fashioned way. Amor por Correo. Los Cucuys.
Esperando que el cartero se aparezca por mi casa para ver si hoy me entrega su amor en una carta. El tiempo pasa y pasa, el tiempo pasa y pasa, y esa carta nunca llega. La culpa no es del correo, mucho menos del cartero. Amor por correo, así no lo quiero. Pides que te espere y me desespero. Amor por correo, así no lo quiero. Vuelve vida mía, que sin ti me muero. Esperando que el cartero se aparezca por mi casa para ver si hoy me entrega su amor en una carta. El tiempo pasa y pasa, el tiempo pasa y pasa, y esa carta nunca llega. La culpa no es del correo, mucho menos del cartero. Amor por correo, así no lo quiero. Pides que te espere y me desespero. Amor por correo, así no lo quiero. Vuelve vida mía, que sin ti me muero.
Los Cucuys, Amor por Correo, from CHR Records. We're going to change things up just a little bit now. We're going to stay on the CHR Records label. However, we're going to hear from one of the executives, one of the owners, the lovely and talented Miss Hilda Lamas. She is known as the Queen of Latina Soul, incorporating different styles in her music, such as pop, rock, blues, soul, jazz, and many more. This song from her latest album has got a little bit of that Latin flavor, como Santana. And of course, what helped with that, her drummer at the time was the late, great Mr. Ernest Reese. Of course, Ernie was a Texas Music Hall of Famer, played drums for Los Chachos, Little Joe, and you name it, he was there. One of the most in-demand studio drummers also. Happened to go up and down the highways with Hilda for many years as they successfully toured together. Sadly, we lost Ernie way too soon a couple of years ago, but his performances live on in the recordings of Los Chachos. Millennial, and other different bands, including that of Hilda Lamas. This one is called Heart Stealer. Check out the percussion, all performed by Ernest Reese, and of course all the vocals performed by Hilda Lamas. From her CD, Love Me Alone, here is Heart Stealer. And talented Miss Hilda Lamas, also my partner in crime, my partner in life, my partner in business, my better half. Wouldn't have it any other way. As I said earlier, since Hilda and I started CHR Records, along with our partner, Mr. Charles Hearn, we've had an opportunity to work with some really, really talented artists that I've known throughout the years, and also second and third generation artists as well. I had a chance to catch up with one CHR recording artist recently as she was putting the final touches on her upcoming album. Second generation superstar Miss Marlisa Vela, daughter of the late great Ruben Vela. So I asked Marlisa if she'd mind kind of just catching up with us, giving us a little history of what she's been up to, and she very graciously agreed. So right now, let's hear directly from CHR recording artist Marlisa Vela from a recent conversation I had with her about her music, her life, her legacy, and of course, her late father, Ruben Vela. Well, we're here at Latina Soul Recording Studio as Marlisa Vela is finishing the final touches on her upcoming CHR album. Marlisa, can you take just a brief couple of minutes and say hi to Radio World?
Hi, Radio World. I just want to say hi to everybody. Hope everybody's doing good, and it's just an honor to be here.
Now, tell us about yourself, Marlisa. You've been in the business quite a while. How many albums have you done since your career began, and about when did it begin?
It began back in 1997. I had 3 CDs, and then I actually did at least, I think, like just one independent one on my own. Yeah, over the years and stuff. So I'm really excited about new coming projects and so forth. So. And
now you're recently signed with CHR Records, and you're currently producing a brand new one. About when do you think it'll hit the market?
I'm looking at maybe August, September, around there. Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and I think this is just a culmination of everything, pretty much everything from my heart the songs, most of them that I've written, the style of music. I try to put all my emotions and everything into words and then make it into music. So
wow, so did I understand you correctly when you say that you wrote a lot of these songs?
For the most part, most of the album, yeah.
Wow, great. So you really had a chance to search your heart and soul and come up with some, I guess, heartfelt lyrics and heartfelt melodies.
Yes, I did, actually.
Well, I mean, it's no secret, and I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I mean, music does run in your family. You are, genetically linked to Conjunto Music. Who was your late great dad, if I may ask you to just identify him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And with an honor, of course, Ruben Vela. And I think that he's been, not only has he, paved the path or, paved the way through all his hard work and I think that he made a name for himself, and he's got so much talent that people still remember to this day. People still remember. Old, even young people, they've all admired him because everything he's done, he's always done from his heart. Of course, he's known for his wonderful song Coco Rayado and everything that really put him on the map. But he has a lot of great music, and that he's known for as well. And of course, his accordion, and his style was just so distinctive. It was so unique.
Let me ask you kind of something personal though. When you began your career, was it tough growing up in the shadows of such a legend? Was it tough making your own mark? Because I'm sure you had the usual cliches, oh, that's Ruben Vela's daughter. How did it feel being the daughter of a legend?
I think that's a really good question, because honestly, for a long time, I felt like I was always in that riding the coattail and stuff. And it's nothing that, if anything associated with my father to me was just something that it was an honor, but I just felt like I have a totally different style, even though that those are my roots, and I've always felt connected to that. And that's basically what I started with, the Conjunto. My CD was all Conjunto. Obviously because those were my roots.
I remember actually those years, and I do remember that because I was recording your father and I was recording your early works, but I did not often see you two together. It's like he had his show, his conjunto, his stage, his entourage, and then you had yours.
I had mine. Yeah. We were totally separate. We didn't really do too many things together at all. I was a little bit. I got more into experimenting and trying to find myself because literally started my career one day to the next. I was just at the right place at the right time, and I'm very blessed for that. But it's something. If it's so crazy to say this, it's something I always wanted to do since I was real young.
Really?
I was just a very, very shy person. I didn't think that I had I was just very, very shy. I could do stuff in front of my friends, and I could imitate people really, really good. I'd get a brush, I'd get on top of the table, and just I can imitate this person. I was very good at it. But it actually, for me to do it professionally.
So what happens when you get on stage? Because I've seen you perform, and you do not look shy on stage.
No, I'm not shy at all. Not on stage.
What happens?
I become the girl that's on stage is the person that I wish I could be off stage. She's really confident. Something just I transform into I guess my alter ego. The person that I am on stage is nothing like the one I am off stage.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's really crazy. And then once I get off, it shuts off. It's just so weird. It's a mind thing. Yeah, it's like a switch. I just, boom, switch it on and it goes, it goes on, and I just feel it in me. I'll be nervous or whatever. Once I get on, I just find this confidence in this. It's like you're on a high almost. And, like you're wearing a suit, you know what I'm saying? Like Superman, and you just, or Wonder Woman, and you have all these powers, and you feel this confidence that you can, do whatever. And then once I get off, it's like I take off the suit or something, I don't know what happens.
So
Transform
from
completely.
Superman, you go back to being Clark Kent again?
Exactly. Marley Clint. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I had a chance to see you perform recently in the city of Elsa, Texas. The South Texas Conjunto Association had its awards, and you were one of the performers.
Yes.
And as you got up there and the Marlisa that I hadn't seen you in a while, but the Marlisa that I remember certainly is still there. In fact, I think it's stronger than ever.
Thank you. Yeah, it really blew me away, like, to be there. Like I said, I've presented and I've attended. I've just never actually performed all these years. Really? It was so crazy. So it was such a big honor for me. And to see all the people, even walking out, people were just saying, wow, it was just really amazing. You did really good. The song was really good. So it made me feel good. And not only that, because I guess, I wrote this song that we actually did. So
what was the name of the song?
It was called Dame.
Okay, that's your current single right now.
Yes. So, and it's one of those, like my dad said, when you're going to write a song, just, it's going to be, he would call it the bubblegum song. Let it just be simple, right? Simple. Don't get all, and just like Cocorado, they say the same thing over and over and over again, and it stays in your head,
Yes.
So I think that was always his way, even though it was simplicity. And honestly, I wrote always, every time I would write music, I would have him in the back of my mind. Does it make sense? Do I have that person singing the chorus, when they, after the song, you just gotta that was my method of writing, because he's actually the one that told me that. So that's what I would use in writing most of the music that I would write.
That's real interesting. Well, your album, which will be out in, you said, August or September.
Yes.
Then what are your plans, of course, I guess, back on the road, promote the album?
Yes, I want to promote as much as I can with God's blessing, of course, His guidance, and honestly, just go to city and just do what I did, back in the days when I was promoting the album and stuff. And I think that's the best way, and let people know that we're back out there, and that, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to play. So is my band. They've kind of been on ice, we will get stuff here and there, but honestly, I want to take it full force. I don't think,
I was going to say that. It has been a couple of years since you actually went full throttle. You've never really gone away, but you have not had that high gear impact that you had at one time.
I wasn't out completely, like you said, but I was just here and there. You don't really think that anyone really even knows that you're gone, and then so I get a lot of, and I want to thank everyone, the people that have Facebooked me and or message me. We want to see, more of what you're doing, where you're going to play, and that makes me feel really, really good, because it just shows, not only the longevity, right, but it also, like, the fact that people actually like what I've put out there, and they support my career, and it means so much to me. Those are the things that keep me going.
Well, I know you have been through a lot. Of course, we all know that you lost your father about 8 years ago.
8 years ago, yeah.
It had to have been rough. Your best friend, your mentor.
It was. I was very, very close to my father. Very, very close to him, and I was the only girl, so I think it was really, really hard to. It really, I think, played a big part in why I stepped out, to be honest with you. And I never really talk about it, but it's something that really affected me. And I think it's taken me this long to realize, because he's not here anymore, doesn't mean so I felt that part of me just passed away the same day he did, Wow. So I just feel like by doing this and having the strength and having it, I had to be all in my 100%, ready to do it. So by this is keeping him alive, actually. And the music, it's something in my blood. It's something that keeps my heart pumping. I think it just, I feel alive and I feel his presence. It's so bizarre that I feel his presence so strong when I'm doing music.
We will be on the lookout then. Come August, September, of course, this show will probably be airing about that time and maybe a little bit afterwards. So be on the lookout as you hear this radio program for Marlisa Vela's new album. And, of course, her current single is called Dame. Well, Marlisa, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to talk with us today. And, of course, for those in Radio Land, be sure to look up Marlisa Vela Vela online, Facebook. Just do a Google search, type in Marlisa Vela, and you'll probably see a whole bunch of things about her.
Yes.
And you can find her music, of course, on iTunes and Amazon and everywhere music is sold. So be sure to pick up a copy of Marlisa's music.
It's been an honor. I just want to say hi to everyone. Thank you so much, Rick, I'm glad that we're coming together again, and it means a lot having this opportunity. Just want to let you know.
Cool.
So,
well, the honor is all mine. You certainly do inherit the genetics of a wonderful, wonderful musician, and of course, your dad certainly passed on his musical skills. I guess you got the DNA for it.
Yeah, it's definitely in my genes.
There you go. I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. Hopefully that they'll really enjoy this. It's totally me, and I think it's the best. Honestly, wow. I'm not just saying that, but I think it's some of the best that I've done so far.
I like that. Congratulations to the writing. I think some of the best songs on the album are the songs that you've written. But anyway, Marlisa, keep up the great work. We look forward to your album coming out, and we'll just go ahead and go right back to the radio program. In fact, why don't we check out your latest CD? It's called Dame.
Dame. Thank you.
Yo sé que nuestro amor ha terminado, pero no puedo olvidarme de tu amor. Me dijeron que besas otros labios y no quiero complicar tu situación. Tú sabes que te quiero, vida mía. Yo te quiero sin tener que compartir. Yo te espero y te extraño cada día. No quiero un momento estar sin ti. Dame, dame, dame tus caricias. Quiero un poquito de tu amor. Dame, dame, dame tus lindos besos. Quiero conquistar tu corazón. Te quiero sin tener que compartir. Yo te espero y te extraño cada día. No quiero un momento estar sin ti. Dame, dame, dame tus caricias. Quiero un poquito de tu amor. Dame, dame, dame tus lindos besos. Quiero conquistar tu corazón.
Well, of course, that was Dame, Marlisa Vela. And it was good to catch up with Marlisa and talk about old times, new times, and what's coming up in the future. Be looking for great things from Marlisa Vela with her upcoming CHR album. The album will be titled Aquí Estoy. Gonna let that one out of the bag. So who knows, maybe by the time this program airs, the album will be out. If not, it'll be out soon. Look for it again wherever digital music is sold. Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, you name it. And of course, the physical CD as well. So we've heard quite a bit about Today and CHR Records and all the wonderful talented artists on that record label. Now we're going to go way back. We're going to reach way back into actually, if you think about it, it can go all the way back to the 1960s. And I'll throw myself in the equation because as a young kid, 5, 6 years old, I remember watching the old Dick Clark show, American Bandstand. I was a big fan of pop music, still am. But one particular week, a duo of artists really caught my eye. They were called Renee and Renee. They had a hit song called Angelito. And back in those days, you didn't see too many Mexicanos on national television unless they were getting arrested or something. But here was Renee and Renee up there with Dick Clark doing their hit song Angelito. And I remember that it was sung both in English and in Spanish. Well, ironically, years later, I got a chance to meet and work with Renee Ornelas of Renee and Renee. We actually wrote some songs together. And I also had the privilege of re-recording that old classic Angelito because there was still demand for it. And those old 1960s masters, I guess they just weren't playable anymore. So up next, this is Renee and Renee with an updated rendition of Angelito, but it still has that unique and authentic sound that I heard as a young kid, and I was so proud to actually be with that same artist and re-recording that same song. So here it is, as released on Hacienda Records, Renee and Renee, Angelito.
Encontré un angelito que bajó del cielo azul. Yo pedí un angelito, corazón, llegaste tú. Angelito, déjame decir que antes que te vi, no conocí el amor. Llegaste en mi soledad como un amanecer, iluminando así mi corazón, todo mi ser. I'm in love with an angel, one who said I love you so. Heaven sent me an angel, and my angel is you. Let me tell you, I was sad and blue, with nothing else to do, looking at the rain on my window pane. When she smiled at me, then everyone could see the rain was gone. Never been so much in love, my heart can tell you so. I've never felt this way, but now I know, honest I do. I'm in love with an angel, and I know she's really real. Got a date with an angel for the rest of my life. Angelito, déjame decir que antes que te vi no conocí el amor y por ti aprendí. Eres para mí la dicha que soñé. Sha la 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 la.
Renee and Renee with one of the most beautiful songs ever written, Angelito, I'm in love with an angel. You know, the cool part is that if you ever listen to the oldie pop stations, the top 40 oldie stations, you will occasionally hear that song. It crossed over into the pop charts. And that's why Renee and Renee was one of the first Mexicano artists on national shows like American Bandstand. So let's pick up the pace again, bring it up to today. Another CHR recording artist hitting the charts very strong and taking her music literally all over America is Miss Veronique Medrano. Her latest CD is entitled Loteria. And not only is Veronique a very talented singer and entertainer, she's also a wonderful behind-the-scenes producer and host of many video shows and informational panels about the history of Tejano music. She is a Las Vegas entertainer, and again, much like Los Cucuys and all the other CHR artists, whenever they come to your town, be sure and attend their live events. In the meantime, you can catch all the CHR artists on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and don't forget our very own website, chrrecords.com, for photos and history and tour dates And of course, you can purchase either digital or physical CDs right there from our direct website, chrrecords.com. When we were choosing songs for Veronique's album, Loteria, she played me a song that she had heard from an old vinyl collection she had acquired. Veronique is a collector of old vinyl albums and singles, and she played me something she had found at a garage sale, an old 45 record. And for those who don't know what 45 records are, that's a 7-inch 45 RPM singles. Well, one song that caught her eye, and she showed it to me, and it immediately caught my eye as well, was called Tamale Man. And even though it was in English, we thought, gosh, we could do a really cool twist to it and make it just kind of fun, energetic, and use it as a part of her Loteria album. It's got great lyric, and it's a fun song. It's called Tamale Man. Let's check out Veronique Medrano from her latest album, Loteria. This is Tamale Man. Talented Miss Veronique Medrano. That one was Tamale Man from her CHR album Loteria. CHR, MCR. What a great winning combination. My name is Rick Garcia, and you're listening to the Rick Garcia Hour. And folks, it's about time. We're going to have to pack them up and move along. But I've had a wonderful time this past hour talking about my fun times in this music industry. And man, I am hooked. I am such a fan of Tejano and Conjunto music, and I have been so blessed to be a part of this wonderful industry. Again, I want to thank the good people at Mas Chingon Radio for allowing me to tell my stories this past hour. And if you remember, at the early part of the show, we talked about Pio Trevino y Magic, and how he happened to be also the lead singer for La Movida Band. Well, we're going to close out this edition of the Rick Garcia Hour with a combination of Movida classics. It was something we did at Hacienda a few years ago. It's still played at a lot of live parties today. and it's just a fun song. It's called La Movida Power Mix. So we'll say goodbye with that one, and don't forget to tune in next week, same time, same channel, for the Rick Garcia Hour, right here on Mas Chingon Radio, MCR.
What is love?
Come on, you know it.
Here we go. Go, go. Here we go. Go, go. Go, go. Go, go. Here we go. Here we go. Go, go. Go, go. Here we go. Go, go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
listening to the Rick Garcia Hour on Mas Chingon Radio, MCR. Join us every week at the same time for another edition as we stroll up and down 5 decades of memories and making new ones at the same time. My name is Rick Garcia. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.